So, job done. The cart was found and driven to Lord Semin's courtyard.
Whew. That's a relief. And what happened to that pair of idiots?
It turned out they tried to rob you.
Oh. They did they?
Aye. They plotted with some robber baron called Gules and brought the cart to him.
The bastards. I should have realized they were a bit too keen on work. And how did you get the cart back?
Well, I went to Semin, and they were wondering there too where the wagon got to. So we rode out to look for it. Me, Lord Semin, and his captain, Gnarly.
Well, God's nails. And the three of you tracked them down. The whole band.
That's right. They were hiding in Apollonia, along with the cart and the goods.
Indeed. Where else? The bastards. And what about my hands?
I'm not sure. Lord Semin took them and Gules to his courtyard. We'll see how he deals with them.
I'd know what to do with them.
Don't worry. I don't think Lord Semin will let them off lightly.
Anyway, the main thing is the cart turned up. I'd be in a right mess if it didn't.
No doubt.
And you've earned a reward for your trouble. I've got just the thing for you. Some mercenary once had his cuirass repaired here, but never came back for it. Who knows what happened to him? So now it's yours. It's been through a bit, but it'll still serve for a while.
Thanks. It'll come in handy. And have you got another job for me?
Young Lord Semin's wedding is coming up, and it's got my head spinning. Look, you must have seen Agnes, the bailiff's daughter, when you were in Truscovitz. What do you think of her?
Well, young Semin is marrying her, isn't he? Why would I have my eye on her?
Don't pretend. A statue of a saint would have his eye on her. Looks ain't everything, though. She's got such a sharp tongue on her. I almost feel sorry for young Semin. And how about you, lad? Have you got some lass waiting in Sasau?
Yeah. And I hope she'll wait. Her name's Teresa. Her uncle owns a mill on the river in Ratai.
A girl from the mill? You want to watch out for them types. You might get caught up in devilry, lad. A wedding's a serious business. You're not just getting a bride, but a whole family. So you have to show them you're a man who's worth it. All the more so when you're noble-born. Old Semin wants a special sword forged for his son's wedding present.
Excellent. So what are we waiting for? Should we get to work?
Hold your horses. It can't be any old steel. This has to be a first-class job.
A blade of first-class steel?
That's right. And that's just the problem.
Ah, I see. We don't have any welded steel for that kind of sword, do we?
God's nails. You really know your stuff, youngster. And you're right. We don't have the steel for a strong sword that won't break.
I'd like to know where you're going to get your hands on some welded steel.
Relax, lad. I've got it all figured out, as it happens. There's this old hermit called Ambrose, living in Apollonia.
And he can pray for us?
God's nails, let me finish talking. The word is, he was fighting heathens years ago in faraway Andalusia, and folks say they saw this interesting broken sword in his hut. From the description, it seems our peculiar hermit has a real Toledo blade.
Welded Spanish steel? There's nothing better for a sword.
See now? You do understand. But there's a catch.
Naturally.
They say that Ambrose the Hermit has changed a lot recently. People from far and wide used to go to him for remedies and blessings. But now he won't see no one. I even heard he made a pact with the devil. And there have been other strange goings-on.
What strange goings-on?
I heard something in the tavern about some apparition. But that's all I know.
With the devil? Why would the hermit make a pact with the devil?
No idea. It might just be old wives' tales.
Where can I find the Hermit?
Do I look like someone who goes to a hermit for advice? I know he has a hut somewhere in Apollonia, but you'll have to ask the Truscovitz womenfolk if you want to know more.
Right. I'll try to find out more about the Hermit's sword. But in return, you'll get me invited to Semin's wedding.
If it means so much to you, why not? Come and see Betty from the Truscovitz Tavern. She knows all the gossip. She'll definitely tell you more about the Hermit. But Henry, if there's any truth in that pact with the devil, don't get caught up in it. The best sword in the world isn't worth eternal damnation.
See you later.
I apologize.
God be with you.
The humans won't be coming back here. Don't worry.
Good. Peace at last. Until you get into trouble again, that is.
I'll have a look at your wares. What's the latest news, innkeeper?
Remember how I told you about the Divazhinka of Semaine?
Yes, the dead one from the rocks. I remember.
Now they're claiming they've heard a leshy around here.
And what is that?
It's a kind of a forest man. You can recognize them by their eerie calls, but don't even think about answering. Otherwise, they'll jump on your back and won't let go until you drop dead from exhaustion. Sometimes they also kidnap young girls. Simply put, it's a bastard from hell.
How can I protect myself?
Like I said, never answer their calls. Apart from that, it also helps to put on different shoes or carry a piece of bread.
Where did they see him?
Well, they didn't actually see him. They just heard him. By the Nebokov pond. One fella goes fishing on the other side. He says he heard him. He ran like a bat out of hell.
What else is new around here?
And that's about it, I'd say.
Sounds interesting. Thank you, innkeeper. I need some advice.
You want some advice? Here's some for free. I catch you fighting here again, and I'll spank your bare ass like a brat.
Well, I said I'm sorry.
But the Cumans are still stinking up the place. Down to business. I don't have all day for you, so what do you want?
I promised Radovan the blacksmith I'd go and see Ambrose the Hermit in Apollonia.
My God, lad, stay away from them rocks. Ambrose the Hermit sold his soul to the devil and won't talk to nobody no more.
Yeah, I heard that as well. But it seems a bit far-fetched.
So why would an evil spirit suddenly start appearing near Apollonia? It's the devil's work, believe you me.
And has anyone sent to the castle for the priest?
Not at all. Bailiff Thrush is keeping it quiet so far. 4 strangers came here yesterday. They sat in the corner there, but once they heard about the apparition, they started to take a big interest.
What strangers?
They looked like monks, only they had daggers concealed under their robes. I saw them clearly. I'm telling you, There's something fishy going on around Ambrose.
But I have to speak to him.
Didn't you hear what I said? He doesn't speak to nobody. He hides away in his hut and sends everyone away. I'd think long and hard before doing anything if I was you, because this reeks of hell.
I'd like to ask you about that hermit in Apollonia.
Go on then.
What do you know about this apparition?
Stanislav, the herds boy. He comes running into the village that night, all terrified, saying he'd seen a rider from hell in Apollonia. And the very next night, it appeared in the rocks below the road to Tahov. There's this conciliatory stone cross there. And the next day, it was at a funny angle. There's some devilry in it for sure.
And it was the herds boy who saw it by the cross, or someone else?
The apothecary's wife, Gerda. Ask her yourself. She's not been herself ever since, poor woman.
Where can I find the herds boy?
Stanislav has a sheep pen in the meadow beyond the Troskovitz graveyard, right above the big crossroads outside Apollonia.
How do I get to the hermit?
You're asking for trouble, lad. But all right, if you insist, you go through Apollonia, along the path below the rocks, till you reach the point where it crosses the stream. And from there, you take the path uphill to the left, leading into the rocks.
Oh, my back.
Who's this hermit fella, anyway?
No one knows. He settled in the rocks a few years back. Folk used to go to him for various healing ointments or advice.
And what has he got to do with this apparition?
Well, he was at death's door recently, bedridden, and then suddenly he's got his health back. Just like that. And he's like a different man since then. He sends everyone who goes to see him packing. Mark my words. He sold his soul to the devil to get better. And the devil sometimes comes here on the prowl for unwary souls.
Where did these peculiar monks come from?
Hard to say, but they rode in on well-fed horses.
Monks on horseback? That's definitely odd.
Well, Bashka the butcher says they came from the bishop about that diabolical apparition. In short, the Inquisition.
What's the latest news, innkeeper?
Nothing much, fortunately, and I hope it stays that way.
Can I spend the night here?
We're not really equipped for that here.
I'll pay you well, if you let me spend the night here every now and then.
Sorry, sir. Unless you want to sleep on the hay.
Well, that doesn't matter. I'd even be happy to pay for a bed of hay. Let's agree on a price. No, only because it's you.
Look, offer a bit more and we can make a deal. Thanks, and I wish you a peaceful night, sir.
Where should I lie down?
You can sleep in the barn behind the cart, right next to the wood.
I hear that some apparition was seen around here. Is it true?
And what's that got to do with me? Let's be on your way. See you soon, my friend.
Ale!
God bless you.
God be with you. What would you like?
What happened to Ambrose the Hermit?
He's at death's door with some ailment, and there's peculiar talk about him. They say he made a pact with hell.
I hear Ambrose the Hermit has some old sword.
Aye, a broken one. He used to have it hanging on the wall of his hut, but that was long ago.
I heard a shepherd saw an apparition in the rocks.
It's not wise to go there. There's a diabolical horseman haunting the place.
I hear the apparition was seen by the cross a few days ago.
The cross was askew, but God knows what Gerda saw there.
I heard something happened to Ambrose the Hermit.
Too right. He sends everyone packing right away. He's changed a lot.
I hear Ambrose the Hermit has some old sword.
That's right. But I haven't seen it in his hut for a few years. Most likely he sold it.
I hear the devil was seen here.
God above, give over with that.
Take care, sir.
What do you know about the apparition at the cross?
Better ask Gerda at the apothecary's. She's the one what saw it with her own eyes.
I heard that Stanislav saw an apparition at the rocks. Is that true?
Aye, there's been strange goings on there the last few days.
God be with you, good sir.
My respects. You...
I'd like to ask you about something.
No! I don't want to talk about it anymore! Go away, please!
Wait, Gerda. I didn't come to mock you. On the contrary, I want to help you.
Really?
I believe you really did see something. But I want to know what it really was.
So... what do you want me to tell you?
Relax, Gerda. Have a think, and then tell me what happened with the apparition.
It was... the day before yesterday. I was picking marshmallow roots above the rocks. It grows by the cross there, near the big dry tree not far from the road to Tachov. I didn't get home till after dark when I suddenly realized I didn't have my knife.
So you went back to the cross?
God have mercy. He hopped up right out of the ground in front of me. He was all in black and he was grinding his teeth. I started to scream. There was something glinting in the dark and this clanking sound and I just turned and scarpered.
That's all?
At one point I turned around and I saw a dark shadow darting across the field. Proper flying along it was like the devil and heading straight to Apollonia.
What's this place where you saw the apparition?
It's a conciliatory cross, erected in the memory of some innocent's death. They say some years ago, a young fellow killed himself on account of an unhappy love affair. He jumped from a cliff.
And the day after you saw the apparition, the cross was at an angle.
Aye, all askew. Everyone here saw it. I didn't go back. I can't.
Don't worry, Gerda. Nobody's gonna make fun of you anymore. I'll find out what it was all about and what you really saw there.
What do you think happened?
I don't know yet, but you needn't fear. Everything will get cleared up soon.
Thank you. By all the saints, thank you. But please, come and tell me how it turned out. I'll make it worth your while.
Was wünschst du?
Show me your wares.
Nothing to your liking, sir?
What do you have for sale? I'd like to do something about that price.
Was soll's? Warum nicht? Ja, das ist gut. Finally a good price. Das war ein gutes Geschäft. Mein Herr.
Quick! Quick! Ah! The conciliatory cross. A memorial to the unfortunate death of that young man. But I'm more interested in what secrets it conceals now. Fresh soil. Someone was digging here recently. It doesn't look like an apparition, Gerda. He didn't take either the coin or the books. So it wasn't a thief. It must be something else he was after.
I wouldn't want that mare if someone gave it to me for free.
That'll be the remains of the Midsummer Night bonfire.
Good doggy, good boy.
You're always welcome here, noble sir.
I hear you saw some diabolical apparition. Is that true?
Was it the bailiff who sent you? Or old Croper?
No. I want to go to Apollonia to see Ambrose, the Hermit. I've heard talk he's somehow linked to that apparition. So I need to know what you saw that night.
Why do you want to know? Forget that shit, pal. It reeks of fire and brimstone.
I know how to deal with evil spirits. I know a spell. Want to learn it?
Of course!
Say after me. Vade retro satana.
Vade retro satana.
Vade retro satana. Remember that. You just have to say it, and you'll drive away the devil.
My God, what a spell! It's clear you know your stuff. What did you want to know?
What exactly did you see that night at the crossroads?
A diabolical apparition. A black rider on a black horse flew into Apollonia. His eyes glowed, and his horse was black as charcoal. He turned this way and that a couple of times at the crossroads, and then darted off into the rocks. To the Hermit's place, I'm sure.
He turned this way and that? That's strange. Would the devil not know the way?
I'm telling the truth. Gerda from the apothecary saw him too.
But the Hermit helps people though, doesn't he?
Aye, he did. Only now they're saying he was at death's door and sold his soul to the devil. and that was the horseman.
Why? Why would the old man have sold his soul to the devil and then kept living as a pauper in his hut?
Who knows what's going on in them rocks? Some devilish trickery for sure. Farewell, my friend.
That herdsboy really did see something. And the trail leads into the rocks. That looks like a map, carved into the rock. Hermit! You silly mutt. A horse? What's it doing here in the woods? I should take a closer look. A beautiful horse. Black as charcoal. The herds boy wasn't lying. And you don't smell of brimstone. You're just an ordinary horse. Someone really did come to see the hermit. But it wasn't the devil. This is the place the innkeeper was talking about. The hermit lives somewhere up here. Judging by what I've heard about you, you're a bit fishy, Hermit.
What do you mean?
Well, there's a lot of talk about you in the village. They say you've made a pact with the devil, and are summoning demons from hell.
Old wives' tales. What do I care about such nonsense?
Well, but supposing it isn't nonsense?
Of course it is.
The apparition was seen by the conciliatory cross at night.
Old wives' tales.
I went to take a look, and it really is askew. But it wasn't magic that Hellspawn was wielding. It was a shovel. There was a hiding place beneath the cross. And the man digging there at night didn't have time to put the cross back in the right position.
By all the saints! So someone was digging there. What has that to do with me?
There was a brand new cloak of the Knights of the Cross in the hiding place. It's clear that the man doing the digging hid it there, maybe to cover up who he really is, and what he's planning.
I still don't know what you want from me. What have I got to do with some cloak?
The man who took things from the hiding place can't have been some chance thief, because he left a purse full of coin there.
So keep the groschen, lad. And stop pestering me. It's nothing to do with me.
I found some pretty interesting documents of the Order.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I reckon you do, Ambrose. According to one of the documents, You were appointed seneschal of the Knights of the Cross with the Red Star. Or are you going to tell me it was some other Ambrose?
I'm not going to tell you anything. I don't know anything about any documents.
A few nights ago, a herdsboy saw a black horseman ride into Apollonia. He thought it was an apparition, but I think a demon would have known the road to Apollonia and wouldn't have spun round and round at the crossroads like a top.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I found a black horse stabled in a pen here. In the woods below the rocks. A well-fed, healthy horse. Black as charcoal. The man who rode on it wasn't an apparition. Or the devil.
Why are you telling me all this? For God's sake! Stop this nonsense right now.
That's enough. I think there are enough fishy things going on around you for me to tell the bailiff. But you're in luck. All I'm after is that broken sword. So, come clean.
You're wide of the mark. But in the end, maybe you could help me.
What do you want help with, Ambrose?
I'm not Ambrose. He died some time ago. I am Conrad, Knight of the Cross with the Red Star.
What are you doing in the Hermit's hut, then?
In Prague, I got into a serious dispute. Ambrose was the only person who could help me. That's why I came to see him.
I'm guessing that the diabolical horseman scaring people round these parts was you.
That was not my intention, believe me.
Ambrose is dead, you say? How did it happen?
He was an old man. Unfortunately, he was already at death's door when I found him.
And you had nothing to do with his death?
Of course not! Ambrose was my friend. I'd known him for 20 years. He was a good member of the Order, and an outstanding teacher.
Ambrose was a member of your order?
More than a member. He was the Seneschal, second in rank only to the Grand Master. He served the Order for many years before getting into a dispute with the Prague chapter and the Inquisition. Then he had to disappear. I was the only one to know where to look for him. But I came too late. All he managed to tell me was his last wish.
You scared the life out of Gerda from Troskovitz that night. What were you doing there?
Ambrose had a hiding place beneath the cross where he kept things from his past.
I found some documents there from the Knights of the Cross. But Ambrose clearly wasn't interested in them. So what did he send you to get?
He sensed that death was coming for him. He wanted me to help settle his affairs. And he also longed to hold his old sword in his hands one last time. I went to his hiding place that very night. But by the time I got back, Ambrose was dead. I put the blade on his grave in place of a cross.
So the sword is on Ambrose's grave. Will you tell me where I can find it?
You want to disturb his rest?
I just want the sword, that's all. It's no use to him now.
All right. I'll tell you where his grave is if you fulfill Ambrose's last wish instead of me. I can't do it.
All right. What am I supposed to do?
Listen carefully, then. There's an old widow called Margaret living in the village. Take this cross to her and say to her exactly these words. Margaret, Ambrose forgives you, but his brother must get what is rightfully his.
Margaret, Ambrose forgives you, but his brother must get what is rightfully his.
That's right.
I hope she'll know what this is about.
Don't worry, she will. Give her the cross, and I'll tell you where you can find the sword. Benedictio Domini sit tecum.
Bloody hell. This hasn't been here for long. It looks like some kind of notes. Like a diary. Let's have a look at it then.
What have we here? Hey! Is something wrong? I say so. Let me explain.
Who have we here now? You traveling alone, eh?
As you can see.
That makes it all the easier.
What do you mean?
Die!
You're in for an ass kicking, you piece of shit!
We're going.
Show what you're made of. Fuck you.
be with you.
Good day. What would you like?
This might seem strange, but I'm supposed to give you this.
A cross? Mother of God. What's the meaning of this?
Margaret, Ambrose forgives you, but his brother must get what he deserves.
Ambrose? The hermit?
It was his wish that I give you the cross and the message. He said you'd know what it's about.
Oh my God! By all that's holy, it couldn't possibly be him. All those years, I'd lost hope. I never forgave myself. I committed a mortal sin.
Well, I don't know what you did. But this is supposed to be your absolution.
No, there's no absolution. Not yet. You said it yourself. Not until Ambrose's brother gets what he deserves. The bones. They still lie there outside the wall. Help me. His soul must find peace.
All right. I'll help you. But you'll have to tell me more.
Thank you, lad, thank you. But not here. We must go to the graveyard. That's where my curse lies.
Let's go then. There's no time to waste.
Here it is.
What does the graveyard have to do with absolution?
Hold on. Not so fast. I'll tell you everything. First, tell me, are you afraid of the dead?
It's the living I'm more afraid of than the dead.
One should fear the dead. But in the end, it's probably a good thing that you have no fear. You see, one poor soul is waiting for redemption. For years and years.
Ah, I get it now. Ambrose's brother has to get what he deserves. This is about the soul of Ambrose's brother.
His name was Jan. He lies outside the graveyard wall, buried without rites. He's been there for 30 years.
Why doesn't he have a proper grave?
Because suicides can't enter the kingdom of heaven. They have to be buried outside the walls, like the unclean. The worst thing about it is that Jan didn't kill himself. He didn't deserve such a dishonourable burial, and it's my fault. I said nothing.
What happened to him?
The memories are painful. We were childhood friends, and Jan loved me. Only, I chose his friend Vashek over him. He couldn't get over the rejection. So he lay in wait for Vashek one evening.
And Vashek killed him?
It was an accident. They quarrelled. Jan drew his sword first, and Vashek had to defend himself. Apparently, they got close to the cliff edge while they were fighting, and Jan fell. When they found his body at the bottom of the cliff, people thought he'd killed himself. The only one who didn't believe it was Jan's brother.
Ah, the conciliatory cross where they saw the apparition. That's to commemorate Jan.
His brother Ambrose had it built there. And those diabolical apparitions. It's my fault for saying nothing. God is punishing me for my sins.
Nonsense. God wouldn't use a diabolical apparition to scare you, would he? And what's more, Ambrose forgave you, didn't he?
Only on the condition that Jan's bones will be laid to rest in consecrated ground. Help me lay him to rest in a proper grave, please.
But without telling the priest and gravedigger. Isn't that sacrilege?
That's the only way we can put right a terrible mistake. Jan didn't kill himself.
All right. We'll give him a proper burial. Jan's soul has the right to eternal rest.
Thank you. The Lord will pay you back 100-fold. There's a rose bush outside the graveyard wall. You'll find his bones beneath it. Please bury him beside my Vashek. Here, beneath the pine tree. In that way they'll be reconciled at least in death. Then place Ambrose's cross on his grave to bless their reconciliation. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. O Holy Mother of God, that we may be made worthy of the promises of Christ, pour forth through the fruit of the Holy by grace into our hearts, that we, to whom the incarnation of Christ, their Son, was made known by the message of an angel, may by his passion and cross be brought to the glory of his resurrection, through the same Christ.
Your journey ends here, Jan. I don't know what you have on your conscience. But rest in peace. I don't know much about prayer in these situations, but... Our Father, there are many sinners in this world, but in the end, we all face your judgment for what we should have done, but lacked the courage to do. So forgive me this little sacrilege. You know better than anyone that it was the right thing to do. Thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven, and deliver us from evil. Amen.
God in heaven, grant poor Jan eternal salvation. So many years in unconsecrated ground, and I blamed myself. Amen. Thank you. May God reward you, lad. I'd given up all hope.
I understand. A sin like that is a hard cross to bear.
30 years. I thought about it every day.
It's all right now. You did the right thing. Everything else is beyond the law of man.
I'd like to reward you somehow.
I expect you wouldn't want anyone to hear about all this, right?
Well, if you... Will you keep it to yourself?
All right. I'll accept the coin, and that'll be the end of it.
Thank you again for your help. God be with you, Henry. Amen.
Are you... Greetings, my friend.
I'm Henry. And you must be the local gravedigger, right?
Ignatius, master of the sod, at your service. Looking for a final resting place, are you? Or do you need to bury a dead goat?
I'm more interested in the grave-digging profession as a whole.
Ah, once you try it, you'll never want to do nothing else till the day you die.
You got a big cemetery here. Pretty nice, too.
Ain't it? But being the gravedigger, I'll never have a place of my own here. They'll throw me by the wall like a dog and bury me without ceremony. But when I'm dead, I won't care. If it was up to me, I'd even bury the suicides in hallowed ground. We're all equal before death and the Lord. This game of better and worse places of final rest don't count for nothing.
What's the story with the dead people?
The story? They're dead. What more is there to tell?
But you said there's been a lot of people dying around here recently, right?
Well, it ain't usual for people to get offed by the cartload out here in the sticks, if you ask me. What do you reckon?
I don't know. Hadn't really thought about it that way.
That might be the reason, then. Hey?
What?
Look, I'm not suggesting anything. I'm just saying there's a lot of people dying. If things keep up like this, I'll be out of work in no time. There'll be no one left to bury.
Being a gravedigger must be a lonely job, eh? What are your duties?
Funny a young lad like you is so interested in grave digging. Not something you see every day.
Well, I'm only asking. No real reason.
That figures. Youngsters these days wouldn't know hard work if it bit 'em on the arse. It's no wonder I can't find any help.
Are you offering me a job?
No. I'm giving you a warning. You ain't cut out for this trade.
And how do you know that?
You've got that look. I can spot it a mile away.
Could you be more specific?
You just aren't cut out for it, and that's that. A gravedigger needs passion. A sense of duty ain't enough. It's a service, a labour of love, and the meaning of life all in one, lad.
But seriously, Ignatius, tell me about yourself.
Gravedigger, knacker, snorter's constant companion, and lover of colourful sunsets, all in one man.
You've nearly got more titles than the Emperor himself.
Well, I have been doing it for almost 40 years now. The bailiff pays me well, in coin and sometimes in goods.
Sounds appealing.
Not all that glitters is gold, lad. A gravedigger's got it hard, and so does a knacker. I pick up dead animals on the side of the road. That's the knacker's job. You could say, I have a knack for it. That's why people say I'm unclean. If I had children, they wouldn't be allowed to marry anyone besides an executioner or a gravedigger. It's so ingrained in folk. A fella takes care of things they wouldn't want to handle themselves, and this is how they repay him. Can't even go to the tavern no more.
Have you been a gravedigger your whole life? Have you ever thought of changing your trade?
I did think about it once, if I'm honest. I wanted to be a knacker in Yitchin. But some fool with friends in high places got the job, though he can't even tell a shovel from a spade. That really pissed me off, so I said, fuck it. Why would I want to dig graves for people who don't appreciate my craft?
So you've always been here otherwise?
And what of it? Do you think I get bored here? Not recently, I don't. But I think I told you that already.
I'm not from these parts, and I've seen a few conciliation crosses around here. What do they mean?
The same as where you come from, I reckon. They mark spots where the sins of man came to be regretted later.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
Aye, like when a fella buries an axe in someone's head over something stupid and then comes to regret it. Or if the law sees to it that he regrets it. The sinner then has to erect a conciliation cross to mark the site of his evil deed.
Where does he get the cross from?
Where do you think? From me.
You're in charge of that too? Stone cutting?
I know how to cut a cross out of stone. And what of it? With the soft sandstone around here, it's child's play.
So they're all your work?
I wish. I've only sold 2 or 3 recently. Most of these here are right old. You might find a few stories about them in the village chronicle what's kept at the rat house. All I know is a young fellow once jumped off the cliffs near Takoff, and folks say the place is cursed.
Do you know any more stories?
Aye, I do, but I'm not telling you any. I'm not an old fishwife.
Unfortunately, I had to bury both my parents recently.
My condolences, lad.
Thank you. I just don't know if it was done right.
Did you witness their deaths?
Unfortunately. They were killed in front of my eyes.
Oh, I understand that's never easy. But if you closed their eyes and buried them in consecrated ground, you've nothing to worry about.
I dug their grave next to our smithy. We didn't have a church in our village.
Well, that can't be avoided sometimes. Don't let it bother you. As long as you picked the spot with good intentions, that's all that matters. I'm certain their souls went straight to heaven. You needn't worry. You did everything right, lad. Farewell, my friend.
Quick!
What a nap.
God! Quick! Quick! Die! Die! Die!
Just a bit further.
Hey, fella! Listen, we need help!
Who are you? And who do you serve?
We are Knights of the Cross with the Red Star. Good brothers in Christ. I'll explain everything, but there's no time now. We have to act fast. Our brother Glesgan is dying. The crazy fool shot him. Help us.
Mother of God.
All right, we'll have a quiet talk. What happened?
If you're going to see the Hermit, be warned. The man in the hut is just pretending to be the Hermit. His name is Conrad, and he's a fraud and a murderer. The Inquisition paid him to murder our Grandmaster Zdeněk in Prague. Fortunately, God did not let him carry out the crime. but 2 of our brothers were killed by Conrad when they tried to detain him.
And I see a third one will soon join them.
He was just about to flee from here as well. We took him by surprise, but he had time to grab that damned crossbow and shoot Klesgin. By the Virgin Mary, help us. We have to catch him.
You're a knight of an order?
Yes. I am Brother Arnold, a knight of the cross with the red star. And these are brothers Sibald and Nicholas. You are too late to make the acquaintance of Brother Klesgin, I'm afraid. We take care of the sick in infirmaries throughout the land, but we can't help our brother. You have to help us, while there's still time.
Did Conrad really want to flee?
Yes. We stopped him at the last moment. He almost got away, but we surrounded him.
Why should I get mixed up in it?
I'll pay you. We just need to distract Conrad's attention, that's all. Otherwise, we won't have a chance against his crossbow in that gorge.
That swine tried to deceive me. He mustn't get away.
God, thank you. Try to get close unseen, and set fire to the haystack on the right-hand side of the yard. Then his crossbow will be useless. But do it quickly, before he gets away.
Just look at me. Docedo es spes nostra. Salva. Ave Maria. Gratia plena. Dominus tecum. Benedicta tu.
Hey! Stop right there! Halt! Or I'll shoot.
Wait, Conrad! It's me! Henry!
Don't move a muscle, I mean it!
I don't know what's going on here. I just want to talk with you in peace.
I understand, but there's no time for talk now.
They sent me after you, but I'm not your enemy.
I don't believe you. I don't believe anyone anymore. I don't want to kill you. Go away.
I can help you. Let's talk.
All right. But make it quick. And no sudden movements. Agnosco fortunam Cartaginus. What do you want?
You wanted to run off and break our agreement.
And what is it you want to hear from me?
Where can I find Ambrose's broken sword?
It's not far. At the edge of the meadow up there are 2 entangled birch trees. There's a grave beneath them, and the sword is on the grave.
That's all I need to know.
There's no time to go into it. Sorry, young man. You got mixed up in a game of high stakes, and there's no way back.
In that case, we'll play that game out together. Just let them come.
Thank you, friend. Benedictio Domini sit tecum. I know the truth, and I can tell you. But if you'd rather try to kill me, come on!
Watch out! Dog! I'll beat you to a bloody pulp, fuck feeding!
Yeah, you grabbed them!
What the? Blood!
Got him from the right. Right! Right! I'm gonna shoot you! Hey! I need a hand here!
What the?
Yeah, you got
I was coming! Whoreson!
Damn it! What was that all about? I think I owe you an explanation.
Yeah, you're right. Let's hear it then.
And what is it you want to hear from me?
Why were they trying to kill you?
I had proof that our Grand Master's Denyak had betrayed the Order and was conspiring with the Prague chapter. But it was turned against me. Damned Inquisition. First they chased out Ambrose, and now me.
That's all I need to know.
And that's an end to it. This is in return for your silence.
Thank you. I won't say a word. Don't worry.
Farewell, friend. Go with God. Benedictio Domini sit tecum.
Where's the hermit's grave? It ought to be somewhere around here. Now that's what I call steel. It may be broken, but there's hardly a trace of rust.
Fucking piece of shit! Good afternoon.
What's new around here?
I don't know about anything. It's all been quiet here. Thank God.
I need something repaired.
Fucking shavings. Fuck.
I'd like to do something about that price.
Very well.
Only because it's you.
More. Aye, you'll convince me with that price. Excellent. It was a pleasure doing business with you, sir.
I'll have a look at the ware. Word about the price.
Very well.
Is this enough?
You really won't convince me like this. Aye, you'll convince me with that price. Thank you, sir. And come again.
So I'm back, Master Blacksmith.
Excellent. How did it go with the Hermit?
He's dead.
What? Did you?
No, not me. It just got a bit complicated. Anyway, it turns out old Ambrose really used to be a knight. And this really is Toledo steel. You were right, Blacksmith.
God's nails. That's quite something.
First class welded steel. Ambrose must have broken the sword himself, deliberately. It wouldn't have just happened in battle.
That's exactly what we need. See now, youngster. My clever plan worked out nicely in the end.
Right. Well, Thank you very much for your, clever plan.
You haven't disappointed me yet, lad. So I'm sure forging an exceptional sword won't be a problem for you either.
Wait, I thought you wanted to do it yourself. I'm just your assistant, after all.
Not at all. I trust you. One day you'll become a master. That is, unless you lose your head first. I'm sorry. Christ almighty.
This is useless. I should move it. Looks like it's almost done. I've got something for you, blacksmith.
God's nails, you weren't bullshitting.
I'd say it looks pretty much like a sword, eh?
Looks like. This is a damned fine piece of steel. Damned fine.
Thanks. I was glad to help, but now there's something I need from you.
I'll pay you, of course. And if you want to do some smithing, I won't throw you out of my forge either.
No, you know full well what I need. I have to get to Samin's wedding.
Why is it so important for you? It'll just be a lot of people stuffing their faces. You can find that anywhere.
I have my reasons, and you don't need to know them.
God's nails, lad. You're full of mysteries. But whatever, that's your business. I don't mind taking you to the wedding. Nothing to it. We can set off once you're ready.
What's new around here?
I don't know about anything. It's all been quiet here. Thank God.
This could use some repairs.